In the scenic mountains of Romsdalen, Norway, Tobias accompanies his daughter Nora on a journey to witness the Troll Peaks. Legend has it that 13 trolls once convened here for a grand wedding. However, their revelry got the better of them and they transformed into mountains. Despite Nora feeling she has outgrown fairy tales, Tobias imparts a valuable lesson. One must believe to truly see. 2 decades later, Nora, now an archaeologist, embarks on an excavation along the Atlantic coast in northwestern Norway with her team. Faced with dwindling funds and a lack of findings after 6 months, her colleagues consider giving up. Undeterred, Nora's persistence pays off when she unearths a remarkable dinosaur skull, prompting a joyous celebration among the team. Meanwhile, in the Dovre Mountains, a construction crew diligently works on a new railway, carving through the ancient peaks. Despite the growing opposition from nature activists who decry the destruction, the project proceeds without heeding their concerns. As the explosives are activated to initiate the tunnel, a deep growl emanates from within the mountains, triggering a sudden collapse that not all workers can evade in time. The Norwegian armed forces swiftly detect the seismic activity resulting from the mountain incident, prompting them to dispatch a reconnaissance aircraft for investigation. Sigrid, entrusted with managing the onboard cameras, compiles a series of visuals that she presents to her superiors. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, they decide to alert Prime Minister Barrett. As Barrett rushes to the base, she receives updates on the extensive damage caused by unknown forces and examines the peculiar images that Andreas, her advisor, speculates resemble footprints. Amused but skeptical, Barrett tasks Andreas with 2 missions: shielding the information from the press and recruiting scientific experts to address the enigma. Shortly thereafter, a helicopter interrupts Nora's celebration, requesting her immediate presence to address a matter of national security. At the base, Andreas greets Nora and leads her to a covert meeting attended by Barrett, key military figures, and a select group of scientists. Together, they deliberate on the potential explanations for the mysterious incident in the mountains. Despite Nora's expertise as a paleontologist, her assertion that dinosaurs could be responsible is met with skepticism. The prevailing belief leans toward a geological cause, with images of craters and landscape indentations dominating the screen. The scientists debate theories ranging from sinkholes to subterranean gas pockets. Nora interjects, emphasizing that the formations are undeniably footprints, but her notion of monstrous creatures is dismissed as implausible. A breakthrough comes when Sigrid hacks into the phone of an activist, uncovering live footage of the incident. The harrowing destruction unfolds on screen, but Nora seizes the moment, urging Sigrid to replay the video at a slower pace. Amidst the chaos, a distinct roar reverberates, resembling an animal, and within the shadows of falling rocks emerges a colossal, mysterious humanoid figure. Despite the compelling evidence, skepticism lingers. Meanwhile, in Lesja, an elderly couple puzzles over their incessantly barking dog, unaware of the unfolding events. As the elderly couple in Lesja seeks refuge in their basement, their house shakes violently before crumbling, plunging them into darkness. When the tremors subside, they emerge to find their home in ruins, but their faithful dog remains unscathed. Back at the base, despite the mounting evidence, the leaders remain unconvinced about the existence of giant creatures. Frustrated with the inaction, Nora insists on taking decisive measures. Impressed by her determination, Prime Minister Barrett appoints Nora as the official scientific advisor. Subsequently, Nora is tasked with joining Andreas on a helicopter journey to Lesja to investigate the latest incident. During the flight, Andreas queries Nora about her journey to becoming a paleontologist. Nora recounts her childhood fascination with nature, her transition from fairy tales to the pursuit of real underground mysteries, and the influence of her late father, a professor of origin mythologies and folklore. Nora's strained relationship with her father, Tobias, stems from his blurred perception of reality and fiction. In a candid moment, Andreas reveals his aspiration to be a writer and expresses excitement at the prospect of supernatural causes behind the incidents. However, Nora interrupts their conversation as they arrive at Lesja, confronted by the stark devastation to the landscape. As Nora arrives in Lesja, the military has already secured the area. Captain Christopher greets them and points out the tracks originating from across the river. traversing the valley and extending 2 miles south into the mountains before abruptly ceasing. Despite a thorough search, the soldiers have uncovered no additional clues. Nora interviews the elderly couple, who couldn't witness much due to a colossal figure blocking the sun, but they did hear a melancholic howling. Examining the aftermath, Nora detects an unusual and potent odor, which she dubs hypernature. Utilizing UV light to search for biological traces, she finds only earth and stones. Curious about the point where the tracks vanish, Nora, Christopher, and Andreas head there, revealing no signs of life on the thermal scanner, just mountains. Puzzled by the creature's apparent ability to elude detection, Nora contemplates the possibility of camouflage. In search of answers, Nora leads Christopher and Andreas to meet Tobias. Unfamiliar with their intentions, Tobias emerges armed, wary of strangers on his property, especially those accompanied by a soldier. Upon recognizing Nora as his estranged daughter, Tobias reluctantly welcomes them into his house, albeit with the condition of putting on some pants first. The dwelling is cluttered with paperclips and research, a testament to Tobias's obsession with uncovering the mythical creature known as a troll. Nora redirects him from delving into his troll theories and silenced witnesses, urging him to focus on the footage she presents. She believes his past work might hold vital clues, emphasizing that nobody knows the mountains better than him. However, Tobias interprets the footage as validation for his troll theory, insisting that the Christianization of Norway erased evidence of mythical creatures. He claims to have been on the brink of exposing the truth before being confined to a mental institution. According to Tobias, those in power have always known, and fairy tales were crafted to vilify trolls while concealing their intelligence. Shocked by her father's assertions, Nora attempts to challenge his beliefs, but Tobias is too enthusiastic to entertain objections. Eager to join the investigation, he becomes part of the team. Arriving at the location where the tracks abruptly cease, Tobias notices discrepancies in the topography, diverging from the maps. Despite Nora's hesitation about their collaboration turning into a reconciliation, Tobias expresses joy at the prospect of embarking on an adventure with his daughter once again. Suddenly, the unmistakable scent of hypernature wafts through the air, and the sky darkens as the mountain behind them reveals an eye. To their astonishment, both father and daughter were correct. The creature is indeed a troll. Its remarkable ability to camouflage allowed it to blend seamlessly with the mountain, explaining the topographical discrepancies. The troll rises, revealing its formidable form, and unleashes a mighty roar, prompting the team to sprint back to the helicopter for safety. Despite the hurried escape, they manage to capture the troll on camera. As the transmission reaches the base, the undeniable truth can no longer be ignored. Christopher guides the group to his military camp, intending to relay their findings to the authorities. Nora, mindful of not sounding implausible, continues to refer to the creature as an unknown creature. However, Tobias interjects, asserting that it is a troll disturbed by the mountain construction, which he deems a disrespect to nature. Dismissing Tobias as eccentric, the leaders expel him from the discussion. Nora's plea for more time falls on deaf ears, as the leaders prioritize the safety of the country and decide to prepare for a military operation. Enraged by her father's interference, Nora contemplates leaving, but Tobias changes her perspective. He emphasizes that this is not a fairy tale, and the troll won't be easily repelled by weapons and sunlight, unlike the mythical tales of old. The troll, now awakened and frightened, poses a challenge as aggression is likely to intensify its anger, considering nature's tendency to retaliate. Convinced by Tobias's perspective, Nora resolves to stay and persuades Christopher to allow them to accompany him on the helicopter, pledging to follow his commands. As night descends upon High Dal, the entire military operation converges on the scene. While awaiting the troll's appearance, Tobias and Nora reminisce about the fairy tales they once shared during their adventures, leading to a long overdue reconciliation between father and daughter. The troll emerges shortly afterward, but it halts its approach, seemingly aware of their presence. Ignoring Tobias's warnings, the soldiers open fire, provoking the creature. As predicted by Tobias, the bullets and explosions prove ineffective, triggering a retaliatory attack that sends everyone fleeing. Amidst the chaos, the troll wreaks havoc, destroying cameras, transmitting the operation to the main base. Taking cover behind a tree with a wounded soldier, the team witnesses the troll grab the injured soldier, prompting Tobias to explain that the creature likely detected the scent of blood. Faced with a dilemma, Nora, Andreas, and Christopher contemplate fleeing, but Tobias decides to adopt a risky, friendly approach towards the troll. To everyone's astonishment, the troll responds to Tobias's gentle words with peaceful groans. However, not all the soldiers receive the memo, and a truck opens fire on the troll once again. In the ensuing counterattack, Tobias is accidentally struck. As the troll ambles away, Nora rushes to her father's side. In his final moments, Tobias mutters cryptic words about the palace, the king, and home, urging Nora to remember to believe before passing away. Back at the base, Nora immerses herself in Tobias's research, seeking solace and a potential solution. When Andreas and Christopher check on her, they reveal that the troll is currently out of sight, but the military is preparing for an imminent airstrike. Nora, anticipating the futility of a repeat attack, urges them to explore unconventional solutions. Despite fairy tales suggesting trolls dislike sunlight, the troll has been active in daylight. Another clue lies in Tobias's reference to the Christianization of Norway and how it affected trolls. Nora contacts Barrett and others, proposing a plan based on folklore. Trolls throwing boulders at churches upon hearing bells. She suggests using bells as a means to deter the troll. Initially dismissed as ridiculous, Christopher intervenes, reminding the leaders of the failures thus far and the need for alternative approaches. Reluctantly, Barrett grants permission to proceed with the unconventional plan. The troll reemerges, drawing closer to the Hunderfossen family park, sparking mass panic among the crowd. As chaos ensues, people scramble to escape, except for a little girl who bravely wants to witness the creature. In a helicopter, Christopher and Nora arrive, leading a hovercraft carrying massive bells. They encircle the troll, making the bells ring, and Nora's intuition proves correct. The sound discomforts the troll. However, the creature, in self-defense, retaliates by attacking the helicopters, causing them to crash. In a surprising turn, when one helicopter is about to fall on the little girl, the troll intervenes, grabbing the aircraft to save her before walking away. The incident, unfolding in a public location, propels the troll into the global spotlight. News reports from around the world cover the event, and viral clips circulate on social media. Returning to the base, a furious Barrett dismisses Nora's suggestion to retry the bell strategy from a different angle, kicking her out of the base. Outside, Nora encounters Christopher, who expresses his belief that Barrett is making a mistake and pledges to support Nora if she ever needs assistance. In the conference room, military leaders unveil to Barrett the existence of dangerous, unapproved missiles. Stunned by the revelation, Barrett is further dismayed when Andreas voices his opposition to considering such weaponry, resulting in his expulsion from the room. Disillusioned and realizing he won't be taken seriously, Andreas resigns and joins Nora on his way out, urging her to prepare for the city's evacuation. Shortly afterward, Barrett addresses the nation on television, officially declaring a state of emergency. She implores citizens to collaborate as the military takes control, initiating preparations for the impending operation and a smooth evacuation. Nora and Andreas find themselves stuck in traffic during the evacuation, prompting Nora to delve deeper into Tobias's research. References to Sinding and a gatekeeper catch their attention, leading Andreas to suggest that it could be Rikard Sinding, the Lord Chamberlain at the royal palace. Recalling Tobias's final words about king, palace, home, Nora deduces that they need to head to the royal palace. Andreas drives them there, encountering resistance from the guards at the gate. However, Rikard Sinding, expecting someone related to Tobias, intervenes and allows them entry. Sinding, expressing respect for Tobias despite their strained relationship, acknowledges Tobias as one of the few who uncovered the secret beneath the palace. The royal palace, it turns out, was built atop the former dwelling of the Troll King, a practice considered good luck in ancient times. Rikard Sinding leads Nora and Andreas to a tunnel filled with troll bones. revealing a dark history. The Christianization of Norway led to the massacre of the royal troll family, sparing only a baby to lure the king into the mountain. There they trapped it in a cavern, leaving it for dead. 12 years ago, Tobias uncovered this dark secret, and Sinding, to protect the information, sent him to a mental institution. Despite feeling remorse, Sinding justifies his actions, considering it the right course of action. Nora, furious, argues against his stance. However, urgency takes precedence. Nora realizes Tobias was correct. The Troll King is returning home to the palace, and they must thwart its arrival. Examining the troll bones, Nora discovers that her UV light damages them, confirming the validity of the sunlight lore. While they have witnessed the troll during the day, direct sunlight remains untested due to clouds and mountain cover. Andreas points out the impossibility of controlling the sun, but Nora unveils a plan. She contacts Christopher, seeking his assistance in implementing a special trap. Nora and Andreas will lure the troll to this trap, while Christopher orchestrates the setup to take advantage of the sunlight once the clouds disperse. The stage is set for their daring attempt to deter the Troll King and protect the royal palace. While the Troll King has reached the city, military attacks prove futile once again, prompting Barrett to approve the use of the missiles. Sigrid, observing the leader's readiness to launch, urgently contacts Andreas to warn him. The need to buy time becomes critical, leading Andreas to request Sigrid's assistance in hacking into the army's system to halt the missile launch. Simultaneously, Christopher initiates a citywide alarm system, rallying his soldier friends to join him in setting up the trap. Sinding contributes by coordinating the placement of one of the troll's skulls on the largest truck available. Nora and Andreas, tasked with driving the truck around the city to lure the troll away from the palace, prepare for their risky mission. It takes Sigrid a few attempts, but she successfully infiltrates the army system, halting the missile launch just in the nick of time. With the troll closing in, Nora and Andreas hit the road, revealing the troll's skull on the back of the truck. The sight enrages the creature, prompting it to roar in fury and pursue the decoy as planned. Nora contacts Christopher, informing him of their progress and spurring him to deliver a motivational speech to keep his soldiers brave as they prepare for the impending confrontation with the monstrous Troll King. Amidst a wild chase through the streets of Oslo, Nora and Andreas navigate the highways but accidentally lose the troll's skull. The troll, stopping to retrieve the relic, emits a mournful groan for its lost children. As it notices its reflection on a building and attempts to touch the glass, the sudden shattering noise startles the creature. In the confusion, the troll drops the skull, which shatters into countless pieces. Overwhelmed with fury and grief, the troll roars in pain, and Nora senses the profound sadness of being the last of its kind. Enraged and seeking revenge, the troll resumes its pursuit. Nora, recalibrating her plan, resumes evasive driving, dodging the destruction caused by the furious creature. Meanwhile, at the base, Sigrid's hacking is discovered, leading to the confiscation of her computer to restart the system. Just in the nick of time, Nora and Andreas arrive at the location with the trap. They abandon the truck, continuing to lure the troll to the center where it steps on the vehicle. Attempting to stomp on Nora next, the troll finds itself surrounded by dozens of activated UV lights, causing it intense burning pain. The soldiers, strategically positioned, execute the plan flawlessly, creating a ring of light that engulfs the troll, gradually wearing it down. As the plane carrying the missiles approaches, the pilot hesitates upon seeing civilians on the scene. An argument ensues at the base about whether to proceed, leading Sigrid to take matters into her own hands by punching the indifferent individual advocating for the attack. Consequently, the operation is effectively aborted. Watching on their screens, Barrett and others witness the troll slowly succumbing to the UV lights, with Christopher's soldiers already celebrating their apparent victory. However, Nora, unable to bear the creature's suffering, intervenes by shutting off the power. The soldiers prepare to shoot, but Nora stops them, approaching the troll as her father once did. Gently urging the creature to return to the safety of the mountains, the troll hesitates, considering her words. Before it can react, the sun begins to rise, bathing the troll in its rays, ultimately reducing it to rubble. As the victorious atmosphere settles in, Andreas humorously suggests names for the new monument or hill. Nora decides to honor her father by naming it the Tobias Boulder. When Barrett arrives later, she expresses gratitude to Nora for her efforts. Andreas, reminding the Prime Minister of his resignation, announces his newfound career as a writer. Walking away with Nora, he contemplates the possibility of more hidden creatures in Dovre. In the depths of the mountains, something begins to stir beneath a pile of rocks.